For the Lone Star Conference, I'm Grant Boone here with ACU men's basketball coach Joe Golding as we present the ACU version of the LSC online basketball media day. So, Coach, as your team gets ready to take on Baylor in an exhibition at the Farrell Center in Waco, it's the second time you guys have done that. What did last year, if anything, do for your team? It's not obviously about a win or a loss.
Yeah, I just think it helps prepare your team and kind of see where you're at. Last year, the good thing was we had 2 weeks of practice before we played Baylor, so we kind of were a little bit more further along than we are this year. We're going into today will be our 8th practice that we've had, so obviously we're not as far ahead. But I think it gives you a chance to go against a team that's very athletic, that has great length. I mean, it's going to be the best team we see all year, obviously, and we get to see them right off the bat. But
you hope so, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. But they're going to expose you in lots of different situations, so you get a lot of tape, and you get to come back and watch different scenarios on tape, and hopefully with a young team like we have and so many new guys, tape is good right now.
You say young. You are young, a handful of true freshmen. You also have a lot of transfers who are going to be seniors, so you're top and bottom heavy with seniors and freshmen. So let's talk about some of the new guys, starting with your point guard Parker Wentz. He's a face that Lone Star Conference fans are going to see just for this year, but he has the potential, according to a lot of people who've watched him in Lubbock, to be special, doesn't he?
He's a very special kid. He plays with a high motor, a high intensity all the time. You know, he brings it every day. He's a great teammate. He's very supportive. He's very positive, and he's a very hard worker. He's got a work habit that most freshmen don't have, you know, and he's had it for a long time, and that's what's made him special. The way, most importantly for us, is he's a winner. You know, he's won every year. He's played since he was a sophomore on varsity there at Lubbock Trinity. He's had a ton of success, but he's won every, and we're going to have to be careful with him. We're going to play him at the point some this year, and then we're also going to play him off the ball a little bit to kind of relieve some pressure of him, because we tend to forget he comes in with some hype, you know, through recruiting and what he did at Lubbock Trinity, but he's still a freshman, you know, and we're going to have to be patient and let him continue to grow.
Yeah, and as you look around the rest of that freshman roster, or the roster and the other freshmen, let's talk about some of the other names.
Yeah, T.J. Brown's a freshman we have, a 6'3" kid from Midland High School. He was the first-team All-District as a junior and the Offensive Player of the Year this year, and comes from a good program. Coach Harden used to coach with me at Saxe High School, so we were able to get on T.J. early, and T.J.'s coming along. We're having to play him a little bit out of position probably this year, him and Tyler Rogers both, a little bit at the 4 this year because of some injuries and some situations that happened early in the season. But Tyler's a lot like him. Tyler played at Lubbock Friendship. And Tyler's about a 6'4", long, athletic kid that can really shoot the ball, can get the ball to the rim, smart. Larry Rogers, his granddad, played here at ACU back with Lewis Stone. In fact, Larry was in the office today, and we got a chance to talk, and they're on their way up to Waco to watch the game, and so fired up that his grandson's at ACU. But really happy with this freshman class. I mean, those 3 in particular, and then obviously we brought in Caleb Carr, who's walking on from White Oak, who I've been very impressed with. Tough-nosed kid, was 2A Player of the Year this year in the state of Texas, and then Riley Payne, another freshman from Idalou, was a 2A Player of the Year last year. Riley will redshirt this year. So very happy with that freshman class and the energy, and most importantly, how they've been representing Abilene Christian.
Let's talk about your transfers this year. Most of them are seniors, and let's start with a guy that really was a force at times in the Southland Conference, Stephen Werner.
Great low post presence, can score it on the low block either hand. Where I've been most impressed with Stephen Grant is his leadership skills. He's been a great leader. He's been through it at Sam Houston State. He's played in big games. He played at the University of Texas last year, so going to Baylor's not going to be the big lights for him, you know, compared to those other guys. So he's been a great resource for our young kids and a great leader along with the senior class, but very skilled on the low block, and probably what he does better than anything is pass the ball. He might be the best passer we have. So we're going to have to find some ways to get him involved on the block and also get him involved where he can find some people and open some stuff up. Where I'm excited about is you watching us so much last year, easy buckets were hard for us to get, you know, and hopefully he can establish the inside presence and help us get some easy baskets.
You came back last year to ACU, where you played as a point guard back in the late 90s when ACU had some great teams, went to the NCAA playoffs. You told me going into last year that you knew how tough the Lone Star Conference would be, and it didn't disappoint. It was a terrific league. What have you told the newcomers about what they can expect from the LSC?
You know what, Grant? We haven't told them much. I mean, they're new, and
they'll find out.
Yeah, absolutely. And our past isn't the best past in the world here, you know, the last 5 or 6 years. But it's not this group, you know. So why talk about ACU's past? These guys don't know. They don't care. They don't know. There's some of them that were recruited by teams in our league, so they're somewhat familiar. We won some recruiting battles in leagues, so that they know some of the teams, but they don't know who they are. But they'll find out, like you said. I mean, I've been on record saying it. I'll say it again. And last year didn't disappoint. The Lone Star Conference, in my opinion, is the premier Division II basketball conference in the country. I mean, it's very, very good basketball. And Midwestern, to me, last year and really the last 2 years, had a team that should have won a national championship. I mean, they did not play well. They didn't shoot it well in the national championship game, and they lose by 1 to the team that wins the national championship. I mean, so it's like that every year in the Lone Star, and we just got to find a way to get up there and get in the mix a little bit.
All right. For ACU Coach Joe Golding, I'm Grant Boone for Lone Star Conference Basketball Online Media Day.